My daughter once asked me a question I couldn't answer. She asked me if I would die with her so I could look after her in the afterlife. Years later, that question led me to the middle of the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. The desert is quiet in a way most people never experience. No traffic, no voices, no distant signs of life. Just wind moving across an endless landscape. I was sitting on an adventure box beside my pickup truck in the middle of the Gobi. My dog Dexter was lying on the sand beside me. Food was nearly gone, water was running low, fuel was running even lower. For the first time since the journey began, I realised something. We might not make it out. I picked up my phone and started recording a message. Part of me believed it might be the last thing I ever said. But the truth is, this story didn't start in the desert. It started with a little girl called Kira. Kira was fun, cheeky, and adventurous. She loved hiking, camping, reading, and generally making people laugh. She loved Sonic the Hedgehog, but mostly she loved his sidekick, Two Tails. She was incredibly proud of me, her dad. Some of my happiest memories are hiking with her in the mountains. She was always ahead of me on the trail. Every now and then she would turn around, put her hands on her hips and shout back down the path, "Come on, Daddy, you're too slow." But when Kira was 9 years old, our lives changed. She was diagnosed with an adult's brain tumour. But even during the worst months of her illness, she somehow managed to make people laugh. She joked with nurses and doctors. She kept everybody's spirits up. And at one point, she even made a farewell video for friends and family. The moment that stayed with me happened on the 17th of May. It was my birthday. Doctors had just been to the house and explained how Kira's illness would end. After they left, the house felt painfully quiet. Kira was resting in the next room. When I went in to see her, the first thing she did was apologise. She said, "Sorry I'm poorly on your birthday." I told her not to worry about that. Everything would be fine. Then she asked me something I will carry with me forever. "Daddy, would you die with me so you can look after me?" It wasn't a question born out of fear, it was simply the logic of a child who trusted her father completely. But I couldn't promise that, because if I deliberately ended my life, I feared I may never reach her. A week later, Kira died in my arms. For years afterwards, I lived with the quiet belief that I had failed her. From the outside, it probably looked like I was rebuilding my life. I took on challenges, travelled, raised money for charity, but inside I was still searching for meaning, searching for a way to reach her again. Somewhere along the way, a dog entered my life, Dexter, an Alaskan Malamute. He had been born on the exact same day Kira died. I always felt, in some strange way, that she had sent him to me. Eventually, Dexter and I began a journey that would take us across continents. The road eventually led us into the vast emptiness of the Gobi Desert. At first, the desert was beautiful. Endless horizons, huge skies. But deserts have a way of reminding you that they are not built for comfort. Fuel began running low. Food began running low. Water became something I measured very carefully. And slowly, the realization arrived that we might not make it out. One afternoon, I stopped the truck. I sat on an adventure box beside it. Dexter lay quietly in the sand next to me. At one point, I walked back to the truck and opened the window. Not for air, but because if we died there, I didn't want Dexter trapped inside. That was the moment I truly understood how serious the situation had become. So I picked up my phone and started to record a message. And somewhere in that moment, something inside me finally shifted. For years after Kira died, part of me had quietly been searching for an ending. Not by suicide, but by pushing myself into places where the world might decide for me. Sitting there in the desert, closer to death than ever before, I realised something. I could not die my way back to Kira. There was no road that led there. The only thing I could do now was live in her name. Today I live near Scarfell Pike in the Lake District, the mountain I affectionately call Kira's Mountain. It's where Kira's ashes were scattered. The same mountains we once hiked together. Life is quieter now, but silence does not mean absence. Sometimes I feel her presence in the mountains, sometimes in memories that appear without warning, and sometimes in the simple decision to keep going. If Kira could see me now, I think she would say the same thing she always did when life got difficult. Come on, Daddy, keep going.